Rain sluiced down the abandoned church steps. A single lantern flickered in Emily's trembling hand. Thunder rolled overhead like distant drums. She crept toward the heavy oak doors, her breath fogged in the cold night air. A rusted hinge groaned as she pushed. Shadows danced on broken pews. Emily's heart pounded against her ribs. Flashlight beam caught shattered stained glass. She scanned for signs of movement. Footsteps echoed behind her. She spun, lantern swinging wildly. A gloved hand closed around her wrist. Sharp pain flared. Her scream cut through the storm. Lightning revealed a masked silhouette. Emily yanked away, stumbling backward. She slammed into a decaying pillar. Splinters pierced her palm. She tasted iron. Eyes wide, she realized her grave mistake. The figure advanced, cloak billowing. She darted through a side corridor. The lantern clattered onto stone. Light dimmed. Darkness swallowed her whole. A whispered voice hissed her name. She froze, breath caught in her throat. Then, boots pounded the hall. A hand seized her shoulder. "Emily, it's Jake!" a voice hissed. She whirled. Jake's storm-drenched face stared back. Relief and dread warred in her chest. He gripped her arm. "Get out now," he urged. A distant crash sounded. They raced back toward the main doors. Emily's mind spun. Why is he here? The doors burst, open. They tumbled into the rain. Lightning revealed his anxious eyes. He whispered, "I promised I wouldn't marry her." Emily stared, drenched and shocked. Her laments were drowned in thunder. Her secret wedding loomed. He was here, and she hadn't invited him. Emily Cole lived in a pastel bungalow on Maple Avenue. She brewed coffee before sunrise. Her parents owned Cole's Bakery down the block. She worked as an event planner in Chicago. Bright city lights energized her daily commute. She juggled client calls and dress fittings. Her best friend, Mia, raced through life like Emily. They texted in rapid-fire slang. "Girl, you need a break," Mia teased last week. Emily smiled at her phone. She drafted floral layouts for bridal showers. Her heart beat faster at wedding deadlines. But her personal life sat on hold. Her fiancé, Daniel, insisted on secrecy. He vanished for weeks at a time. She blamed pressure at his law firm. Still, her chest tightened whenever she thought of him. Her sister, Sarah, teased her relentlessly. You'll never marry if he's always gone," she laughed. Emily forced a grin. Inside, dread gnawed at her. Her grandmother warned her, once, "A promise unkept is a promise broken." Emily shook off the memory. She closed her laptop. Rain tapped her window like anxious fingers. She stared at her engagement ring. It glinted with cold steel. He bet I'd never marry, she thought. She rubbed her thumb over the band. Her pulse quivered. Something felt off. An unanswered text blinked on her screen. A calendar alert glowed bright red. "Surprise wedding, tonight, 7 p.m. Emily froze. Questions piled in her mind. Was this his idea? Her phone buzzed again. She tapped it. A location ping blinked. St. Mark's Church. She inhaled sharply. My surprise wedding? Her blood ran cold. She dialed Mia. No answer. She stared at the screen. Rain rattled the roof. She remembered Jake's warning. He promised he'd stop this. Her hands shook. She grabbed her keys. A sudden text popped in. "Be ready," it read. Signed, D. Emily's jaw tightened. She bolted out the door. Sirens wailed in the distance. Her car slid on wet pavement. She drove blind through the storm. Her past and future collided, and the storm only grew darker. As she sped toward the church, a chill whispered in her ear. This isn't just a wedding. Emily skidded into the church courtyard. Her heels sank in muddy grass. She ducked under the dripping portico. An envelope lay on the welcome mat. Her name was scrawled in gold ink. Hands shaking, she pried it open. Inside, a folded photograph. Her and Daniel at last year's Christmas gala. He smiled, ring box hidden in his pocket. She recognized shadows behind them. 3 masked figures. A shiver ran through her. A sudden whisper reached her ears. Finally, Emily. She whirled around. Daniel emerged from the shadows. His suit was soaked through. Rain traced lines down his face. His eyes glinted with something dark. "Happy wedding night," he said softly. Her heart seized. He took a step closer. Thunder rumbled like warning drums. She backed away. "Daniel, what are you doing?" He smiled. "Keeping my bet." Emily's breath hitched. He reached into his jacket. She braced for a threat. He pulled out a second envelope. "Read this," he said. Her fingers trembled as she took it. Inside, her grandmother's will. Clause 6. The engagement ring passed only if Emily wed by her 30th birthday. Tonight was her 30th. She stared at Daniel's smug face. Her palm sweated. He whispered, "I bet you'd never marry." Her world tilted. Lightning split the sky. A distant crash rocked the stained glass. Emily clutched the will. Her dream wedding twisted into a trap. A soft voice called her name. She turned toward the nave. Jake stood in the shadows. His eyes burned with urgency. He mouthed, "Run." Emily felt the ground shift beneath her. Her future blurred. And danger closed in tight. Emily sprinted down the aisle. Daniel's laughter echoed behind her. She dove behind a crumbling pew. Her dress snagged on splintered wood. She yanked it free. Heart pounding, she peeked around. Daniel stomped closer. Umbrella forgotten. His smile was a blade. He held the will aloft. "Marry me now," he taunted. She shook her head. He advanced. A shot rang out. Daniel staggered. Blood seeped through his lapel. Emily gasped. Jake emerged, revolver smoking. He knelt beside Daniel. "Is he dead?" Emily whispered. Jake shook his head. "Just wounded." She exhaled slowly. Jake hauled Daniel upright. He glared at Emily. "Stop this wedding tonight." Emily stiffened. "My grandmother's will," she said. Jake's eyes softened. "We'll find another way." Her hope flickered. A distant siren grew louder. Jake grabbed her hand. "Come on." They fled through a side door. Rain pounded their backs. Alley lights blurred in the downpour. They reached Jake's old Mustang. He hot-wired it in seconds. They roared away from the church. Emily's mind raced. Her ring felt heavy on her finger. Jake drove in silence. Her gaze flicked to him. He refused to look back. She broke the quiet. "Why help me?" He clenched the wheel. "Because I promised." Her chest tightened. She remembered the night she'd confessed her fear. Jake had vowed to keep her safe. Now he risked everything. "Who shot him?" she asked. Jake's jaw set. "Someone who wants that will destroyed." Emily swallowed. Her world had split in two. They pulled into an underground parking garage. Jake killed the engine. He turned to her. "We need evidence of your grandmother's will." Her pulse quickened. "Where do we start?" He slipped her arm around his waist. "Family lawyer's office," he said. Emily nodded. They sprinted toward the exit. Footsteps echoed behind. Them. She glanced back. A black sedan idled near the church gates. Its headlights burned like hungry eyes. Emily's breath caught. "They're not done with me." Jake led Emily into his garage gym. Concrete walls echoed with clinks of metal. She eyed the punching bag skeptically. Jake demonstrated a proper stance. Short, clear sentences guided her movements. Feet shoulder width, hands up. Emily mirrored him. Her knockout gloves felt foreign. Jake jabbed the bag slowly. He corrected her grip. His tone stayed calm. Rotate your hips. She swung again. The bag swung back, then snapped forward. She ducked instinctively. Her arms ached. Jake nodded. Better. Next, he introduced her to the range. They entered a small shooting bay. Targets hung a dozen yards away. Emily's heart leaped. Jake handed her a small caliber pistol. She gulped. Focus on breath, he instructed. She inhaled, exhaled. Squeezed the trigger. The shot cracked. She flinched. Bullets struck paper. Jake offered a water bottle. She drank, trembling. He sat beside. Tell me about your grandmother. Emily's eyes misted. My grandma fought for women's rights, she whispered. She left me everything, but only if I married. Jake's expression softened. She believed in keeping promises. Emily folded her hands. I never meant to trap myself. Jake reached for her hand. We'll honor her memory, the right way. Her chest tightened. Hope bloomed. They trained into the night. Jake tested her strikes. She tested her aim. Each success sparked confidence. Finally, he handed her a photograph. It showed her grandmother signing the will. Proof, he said. Emily's eyes lit. She clutched the photo. I'm ready, she whispered. Jake stood. Let's finish this. They arrived at Whitman & Co's law offices. Its marble pillars loomed in the rain. Jake flashed his deputy ID. A receptionist buzzed them inside. They climbed to the second floor. A mahogany door barred their path. Inside, Charlotte Whitman greeted them. Her silver hair framed a stern face. Mr. Gray, Ms. Cole, she said. Jake nodded. Charlotte led them to a vault. She typed codes. The door clicked open. Emily held her grandmother's sealed file. She exhaled. Jake raised an eyebrow. Charlotte's lips curved. I hope you'll forgive me. She touched Emily's arm. Emily stiffened. You see, I never delivered this file. Emily's eyes widened. Charlotte continued, voice wavering. My firm was bribed by Daniel's father. Emily stumbled back. Jake's fists clenched. Charlotte's eyes glistened. I'm sorry. Emily's breath went shallow. She crumpled the file. How could you? She whispered. Charlotte's shoulders shook. They threatened my family. Jake placed a hand on Emily's shoulder. We need another plan. Emily swallowed hard. Daniel's betrayal cut deeper. She realized Charlotte was Truth's last keeper. They grabbed the file and fled. Outside, headlights glared. Daniel stepped from the sedan. His face was pale, blood drying on his shirt. He smirked. Looking for this? He held the will aloft. Emily lunged forward. Jake grabbed her arm. Stand back. Daniel's gaze flicked between them. He raised a pistol. Emily froze. A single tear traced her cheek. Daniel's finger tensed on the trigger. Jake squared his stance. But before either man could act, headlights shifted again. A black SUV screeched in. A squad of officers poured out. Jake's colleagues. Daniel's pistol fell harmlessly. He stammered. Arrest warrants. Emily blinked. Her knees went weak. Jake hugged her tight. She whispered, It's over. They raced to the rooftop helipad. Wind whipped their coats. Rain lashed their faces. A single helicopter idled with blades slicing air. Emily's heart hammered. Jake led her forward. Daniel burst from the stairwell. His eyes burned with rage. He raised a revolver. Jake dove in front of Emily. A shot rang out. Jake grimaced, blood staining his shirt. Emily screamed. She lunged toward Daniel. He staggered as a second shot struck the metal railing. Police officers appeared behind him. He dropped his weapon. Jake collapsed to one knee. Emily dropped beside him. He grimaced, in pain. "Get to the chopper," he gasped. Emily shook her head. "No." Another gunshot echoed. She flinched but stayed. Jake seized her hand. "Go." She nodded, tears streaming. She limped toward the helicopter. Jake watched until the blades rose. He raised his arm in farewell. She gasped as rain blurred her vision. The chopper lifted. Emily glimpsed Jake's silhouette on the rooftop. Police ringed him. She exhaled. He kept his promise, she thought. The helicopter banked away. Behind her, Chicago's skyline blurred. In the storm, her chest ached with loss and relief, resolution and hopeful ending. The chopper touched down on her parents' rooftop deck. Her mother ran forward. Emily stumbled into her arms. Tears fell freely. Mia joined, enveloping them both. They held Emily close. Jake emerged from the ambulance on a stretcher. Emily raced to him. She knelt by his side. His eyes fluttered open. "Hey," he rasped. Emily breathed sharply. "I love you," she whispered. Jake smiled weakly. Paramedics soared him away. Emily watched until the ambulance doors closed. She fingered her grandmother's will in her pocket. Sarah approached with Daniel in handcuffs. Daniel's eyes were hollow. Emily met his gaze. "You made your choice," she said softly. He nodded, head bowed. Police led him away. Emily felt the ring on her finger. Sun broke through lingering clouds. A rainbow arched over the city. She inhaled deeply. Hope washed over her. That evening, Jake called her from the hospital. His voice was tired but warm. "I'll marry you," he whispered. Emily smiled through tears. "Under my own terms," she replied. He laughed softly. "Under our terms." She pictured them exchanging vows. Not a trap, but a promise. A real promise. She looked at the rainbow-lit skyline. Her future gleamed ahead, and love, finally, felt like freedom. Thank you for joining Emily and Jake's journey. If you felt their heartbeat, hit like. Subscribe to Swoon Stories for more suspense and romance. Share your favorite moment below.